All right, everybody, what's going on? We have a couple of new projects that we're going to be starting on. We now have 104 runnels and 106 runnels. On the right hand side is going to be 104, and on the left hand side is going to be 106. So we have a couple of challenges that have already shown up. This is not too crazy, but we are going to essentially just work through these problems. I'm going to show you these lots. These are very large lots. They're going to be great for what we're trying to accomplish. I think that we won't have an issue selling these duplexes because of the yards are going to be so massive and they're just going to look fantastic. So check this out. I want to show you real briefly here a couple of items. Mostly the thing here that to note is going to be that the separation between the two lots is going to be this fence right here, basically. And this house is going to get demolished, and then we have some structures here. This house that you see in the back over here, that's a completely different property. It's another subdivision, so that's not going to be ours, not our problem. We do have an electric pole here. We have several electric poles on this property, but we're going to work through these problems here. Nothing too crazy. I'm just going to show you exactly what happens. So if you can see here, this is going to be one lot. This is massive, right? This whole entire thing here is going to be one lot on which we're going to put one duplex. This mobile home that's in the back here is going to go in the trash, or actually, I sold it for $20. So I have a gentleman that's going to be taking it away. He's hauling it off. He wants it. He's like, hey, I'm all about it, man. I'll keep it. And he is doing that today. So it's a very nice lot, very, very big. I like it, spacious. It's already flat. There's not a ton of trees that we need to get rid of. And, you know, we have access to electricity in the front. If you can see here, there's going to be access to water in the front. I don't know if you can really see it here. We have access to gas right there. Although I don't really care for the gas because we're not going to, that's just an additional cost. I don't want to deal with it. So so this house here that you see on the far left hand side has asbestos in it. Okay, and this was all part of the seller's disclosure. We're gonna have to figure out a way to kind of mitigate that. You know, we have to get people with licenses and all sort of stuff. Whatever. It's just paperwork, guys, and you have to get the right people to do the right things, and you try to negotiate on price and try to figure things out. Excuse me. And so it's not a big deal. It's just another cost. Now, people used to ask me back in the day, hey, do you do houses that need, lots of foundation repair? And my answer was always the same. The foundation repair isn't the issue. Foundation repair is just another number in the rehab. Just make sure that it fits in there. Just add it into the budget. And so we're going to be doing the same thing here. So we just bought these two properties yesterday, Friday, the 28th of February. And so today essentially is going to be marking day one, but we're not in the construction phase just yet, but it's the day one that we own it. So there's a couple of challenges. Number one, we have these old structures here that need to be removed. We have this old house here and this old mobile house in the very, very back that need to be gone. I want nothing to do with those things. This thing is such an ugly dog. There's no saving that sucker. I mean, I'm telling you guys, that thing is just old, and it has asbestos in it, like I told you guys. I don't want to deal with that. And then we have this old mobile home in the back over here that's just a piece of garbage. Going inside that mobile home is like getting hit in the face with a baseball bat from how bad it smells. That is how bad that is. So anyway, because we had to get a demolition permit. Anytime you're inside the city limits, you're going to take down a structure like this, you have to get a demolition permit. The demolition permit in and of itself is not very, very difficult to get, but there's certain steps that you have to do before you do the demolition. Number one, you have to make sure that the electricity is cut off. We don't want electricity to the house while we're trying to demolish this thing, and electricity to the mobile home while we're doing that thing. So that's the first one. The second thing is we have to ensure that any gas or any water that's going to the house is also capped. And then any wastewater that's coming out, that also gets capped, so, or removed, okay? Because the city doesn't know what's in there. They don't want none of that stuff coming to them. And so up at the very front of the property, we try to find a spot over here where we can cut that stuff off. And then there's no more service to the unit. So let's keep moving here. Just want to kind of zoom in real quickly on these guys over here, taking down some of the stuff. They're going to be moving that trailer and they are taking it with them. They're happy. I was happy. I'm actually saving a couple $1,000s, maybe even more, by doing that. So Showing you here real quickly, we are ensuring that the water line gets stopped. There's no more service, so that way whenever we start demolishing this thing here in the back, that we don't have a bunch of water just spraying all over the place. We also have to ensure that the gas is cut off. Same thing here. The plumber. So a lot of people don't know this, especially if you're kind of new to the construction business, is that the plumber does gas and he does clean water and wastewater. So those are his responsibilities. He does that. There isn't like a gas person that just does gas or whatever. Those guys are usually, pretty knowledgeable in that stuff. And then here's the meter. This particular meter, if you can see it, has an actual lock on it. I don't know if you can really see it clearly, but that is there it is. You can see it. Right here, this is a padlock that belongs to the city. So whoever used to live here at this mobile home had their water service cut off for a long time or whatever. I don't know where they were getting water, if anybody was living there, whatever. It was just cut off. So now we have to call the city to request them to turn it back on. They're going to put the bill on me. I forgot I did that. Yeah, you can see the lock now. See, master lock. So, excuse me, we have to call the city to come reconnect. And then we have this other issue that we have here, which is really not that big of an issue. But what I told the plumber is because so the concrete guys, they need water. So now we have a water access right there because the meter's already there. It's just easier to put just a 90 to come up and then just, have a faucet right there. Great thing to do. If you already have water to one of your units, go ahead and ask the plumber to just leave you a quick faucet near there. That way they can connect. The plumber needs water. I'm sorry. The plumbing ground needs water. They need to fill all the pipes whenever they do it. And then the guys that do the concrete, whenever they're washing their stuff, they need water. They need water to kind of pour over the top little bits at a time, whatever, when we're doing the final polish of the slab. But all those things, we need to make sure that we have. And then we have, if you see back here, this is actually these two things right here. This is the gas. There used to be a gas meter in between here, and for whatever reason, they stopped servicing it, and the gas company took the meter and said, you know what, nobody's using it, we're just going to take it because it's just a liability. And so now what we have to do, and believe it or not, it costs about $450 right now for me to call the CenterPoint Energy people, and what they're going to do is they're going to eliminate these things. They're going to just get rid of them here. Okay, they're going to get rid of them here, and they're just going to keep the connections underneath the ground, because there may be some businesses over here or some people over down the street that want the gas service, so they're going to connect it for them, but we don't want it. I don't want them. I don't. It's more complicated and more work and costs more to build these duplexes if we want to do gas and all this other stuff. If you're going to be building something a little bit higher end, that you feel like is going to be important, that you want to do it for that purpose, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. But I don't care for it, so I'm just going to get rid of the gas. All right, guys, that is all I got for you. I'm super excited. We have some new projects that are coming up. These are going to be 2 duplexes on these huge lots. And we'll be talking about them. We'll start moving through with them, and this is going to be a fantastic little project. All right, guys, that's all I got. Talk to you soon.